troops in that war cry after this hard-fought overtime victory. It's the Chargers by 3 over the Eagles. Joe Buck Troy Aikman were on the call tonight, and Joe, you called football for so many years. I don't know if you've seen a game quite like this one that ends quite like this one. How do you make sense of just how this Charger team gutted out this victory?
Yeah, they just did enough to get it done, and that's kind of, Troy talked about it with regard to Jesse Minter's defense. They play that shell, they let you get some yards, but then they clamp down, and they were, all around the football all night. It's a 4-interception night for Jalen Hurts. He had 2 interceptions all year coming into this game. Could have had 5. He turned the ball over 5 times. And I think it's easy for, us to point the finger at Jalen Hurts, but I think the credit is really going to the Chargers defense. I thought they played great. They are humming on defense, and Herbert, as tough as they come, did enough and got the win, and they come out of here 9-4.
Troy, you mentioned a number of times on the broadcast, and I want to dig a little deeper. You mentioned about how the timing just felt off for Philadelphia's offense. Was that something that showed itself on that last play? And I'm just curious, how to your eyes, are you seeing them off time-wise?
Well, it's been off all year. The timing within the passing game, it hasn't been as crisp, obviously, as what you'd like. They need to get, we talk about how much they've struggled running the football, although Saquon Barkley had a big night tonight. But overall, on the year, they haven't run the ball particularly well. But you've got to throw the ball better than what the Eagles have this year. Now, last year, they weren't a great passing team either as far as yards, but they were getting what they needed to out of the run game. So when that's struggling a little bit, but on the last throw, no, that had nothing to do with timing as much as it was just
a great play.
Jalen Hurts trying to fit a ball into a really tight window, and Cam Hart making a big play. And that's why I talked about it just a few moments before that snap, that, as a quarterback, when you're in field goal range with an opportunity to kick the field goal and keep the overtime going, you've got to be real protective of the football. But that's the ledge that all quarterbacks live on when you're trying to make a play and also trying to be conservative. It's a fine line, and this one got to Jalen Hurts.
And the Chargers get a significant victory. They're scheduled down the stretch. Pretty much all contenders will be in Pittsburgh next week with a couple of teams that are in a very crowded AFC field. There might not be a singular great team, but, man, there are a lot of really good ones. Look forward to being with you guys in Pittsburgh. Travel well.
Safe travel,
being
Scott.
with you there. And Omarion Hampton is alongside. You've been very patient to sit and wait while we were doing what we do before the show begins. Thank you for joining me. I just would ask you to describe. I just talked to Joe and Troy, who've been calling football for decades since you've been born.
Yeah.
Describe this insane game. You're playing in it. What are the emotions like as this game goes back and forth and then ends up in the right way for you guys?
I mean, it's just an amazing game just to be a part of, just be out there with the guys. I mean, defense has been amazing all games, so I'm just glad at them for just coming in touch with us. Really.
I mean, when you guys have to, okay, you get your 3, and then you just got to sit back and wait. And it's been a crazy game, and they've turned it over a bunch because your defense has just been hawking the ball all night long. Yeah. But as Philly gets, inside the 20 and a touchdown beats you, and you guys can't do anything but watch, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Philly does. They find a way to win games. So, I mean, our defense did a great job just finding a way to come out with it. I appreciate them so much to be a part of that.
I was asking you off the air about your quarterback, and I mean, the man had surgery a week ago today. Now I get it; it's not his, it's not his throwing hand, but the man had surgery. His arm's all bloody; they can't make it stop bleeding. He's the leading rusher out there, getting blasted all night long. What kind of a leader and what kind of a message does it send when he's the guy out there saying, "Follow me, fellas"?
Yeah, he's definitely a different breed. He's definitely one of the better quarterbacks I've been around. Just him being a leader overall as a player, and just he's always there for us, anything we need. And then just for him to come out here and his toughness all around is just amazing.
It's interesting because Omarion, like, he's a quiet-ish guy, right? When he was at Oregon back in the day, and the question was, is this guy going to be a leader? And that seems stupid in retrospect because clearly he is. Yeah. But who's the guy that you are around week in and week out that we're not privy to seeing, that that's who he is? How different, I guess, is what I'm asking, is he from maybe what the outside world will see, because he's so soft-spoken?
Yeah, I mean, he shows it all the time, 24/7. I mean, whether we're lifting or not, he's always just talking to us, making sure we just good, really, just talking about, like, even on the field, off the field too. So, I mean, he's always with us.
for you to be able to get healthy and to be out here contributing, and we heard about you from the beginning of camp. They're like, this is a guy that's got a chance, and we've seen that. To have to sit out for a bit and get right, and then now be back out there contributing. How much of a joyride is this to be back out in uniform and being able to contribute like this?
Yeah, it feels amazing just to be out back with the guys, just to help the team out a little bit. So I mean, it feels amazing. I can't ask for nothing better, really.
You guys are in the middle of this really, really crowded playoff picture. And obviously you've got guys that have been through this. Your coach is a different sort of a cat. Yeah. What's it like for your group to see the path in front of you and understand what you need to do? Because the schedule's pretty rugged coming up, but you have the path right in front of you. What's kind of the message within the group?
Yeah, I mean, just attack it, really. Just everybody knows the goal that we want. We want the Super Bowl, so we're just going to attack every game one by one.
And the confidence that lives in a group after winning like this, right? I mean, this is a coin flip game, and it lands the right way for the Chargers. Does it change at all the way the group feels about itself? I mean, this is a big one to get. These are the world champs, and to win it this way, like a true heavyweight brawl, where it feels like a Rocky fight.
Yeah.
To win one like this, does it magnify the belief?
Yeah, we just know these are the tough games we got to win, especially with a good team like Philly. I feel like just going out there getting the win is just really big for us. Has Coach Harbaugh already done the who's got it better than us part? Like, are you going to miss that because you're sitting out here with me? Or, like, when does that happen? No, he already did it. I was in there with him.
And is that an every single day thing, or is it only after you win? Like, when do you get to hear that war cry from him? Is that every day?
It's after we win.
Just victories?
Victories.
Like, when you see that from the outside looking in, like, he's just such a different kind of guy. What's it been like to play for him?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, he's always been there for me. He's always been just the way he goes about himself. He's always just with the team, involved in practice and everything like that. I feel like it's just...
Well, he wants to run the football, and that's what you do. So It's kind of a marriage made in heaven. Stay healthy. I appreciate you taking a minute to visit with us. Congratulations on an insane victory, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely. Omarion Hampton, 56 rush yards, scored a touchdown on the first drive for the Chargers, and they are right there squarely in the mix of the wild card picture, tied at 9-4 with Buffalo. You see the squads on the right-hand side. They play a bunch of these teams in the remaining weeks. It is a rugged schedule for the Chargers, but they get a monster victory tonight. As for the NFC picture, man, this is changing things a lot for Philadelphia. It is not going to be a trip through the link in the NFC, barring something truly unforeseen from happening. They are still leaders of the NFC East, but the backslide continues. It's now a third consecutive loss for the reigning world champion. Saquon Barkley did find some open space, did have over 100 yards, but they do lose yet again. Here's Saquon's thoughts after coming up short in overtime.
Yeah, that one sting. We know we got to be better. We continue to beat ourselves and not doing the little things right, not focus on the details. But last year was last year, like we keep saying, and now we gotta move on. We know this one's gonna sting. We got a short week. One of my favorite coaches used to always tell me, "So what? Now what?" And I think that's the mentality we gotta take for this coming week. We lost this game. We know we can be better, but we move on and we get ready for the Raiders.
What about this game particularly made it sting so bad?
It's a dogfight. It was a dogfight. Give credit to Chargers; they did a really good job, and felt like we had momentum going, and they would answer, and we would answer. So anytime you lose a game like that, anytime you lose, it hurts in general. A game like that definitely stings, but we can use this to either start pointing fingers and get upset, or we can make sure that doesn't break us and we come together and we just keep rolling. And I think we're going to take that side of it. And like I said, so what, now what, move on. Everything that we want is still in front of us. That's the beauty of football. That's the beauty of having success early in the season. And now we got to get things rolling. And we just got to go back to the little things.
What's running through my mind is this never quit, never give up mentality, this fourth quarter personality that this team has. And I think back to what Mark Herbert poured into those boys, and it starts with give it your best, give it your best. Number 2, get better. Number 3, treat others as you would want to treat others as you would want to be treated. And number 4 is never give up, never quit, never surrender. That is this football team. That is this football team. Give each other a high five. Game balls. Game balls. Game balls. The entire defense. Cameron Kicker! J.J. Scott! And Josh Harris! And Justin Herbert! Right. Who's got it better than us?
Brian Clark is alongside. He's a little bit of a crazy person.
Oh, a lot of bit of a crazy
But
person.
wired in such a way that seems to galvanize a group, because what he's saying all has merit and makes sense to that group of men.
He's wired in a way that empowers the people in his locker room. The things he says about Justin Herbert, the way he categorizes a guy like Derwin James. He says they're the best doing their jobs in the entire world, and you see that sort of leadership on the field.
Look, that kind of message can manifest itself in many ways. This was not a work of art. It's sloppy, but I think it's sloppy, Ryan, because the level of play on the 1-2 on both sides was as high as it could get. What did we see tonight?
There was so much sense of urgency. And we talked about that last play, and it was just a great job by Cam Hart. And this actually was a good call by Kevin Patullo that was read wrong by Jalen Hurts. Here, you're going to get an RPO. So Saquon Barkley is going to have the run fake. And what we're going to get on the back end is we're going to get Dallas Goedert to the flat here, and you're going to get a post corner by the wide receiver. Now, the guy to pay attention to on this play is Cam Hart. He's actually going to be the cloud corner, and Tony Jefferson is going to roll over the top late. Now, we're going to let the play go for a little bit, and we're going to pause right before the throw of Jalen Hurts so you can see the decision that Cam Hart had to make. Now, right now, what Jalen Hurts sees is that Cam Hart is the cloud corner, and he believes that he's going to cover Dallas Goedert. What he's doing is hinging. He's catty-cornered, so now he can break down on a low throw, or he can break back to get underneath Jahan Dotson on this corner throw, which is going to allow him to tip the football and a finish by Tony Jefferson. As you let it play, you can see that Jalen Hurts feels like he makes the right decision. Cam Hart falls off to the corner, tips the ball, and then Johnny on the spot is Tony Jefferson. Those are the ways that you have to win big games in order to get yourself in the playoffs and keep yourself in AFC West contention, and that's what the Los Angeles Chargers were able to do.
You're part of the world in Louisiana. You got 1 million guys that you guys can brag about playing at this level. That's a young man that went to a place called Good Counsel High School that's in my neighborhood.
Love that.
And there's a lot of folks back in my neighborhood that are incredibly proud of what that guy did. He made impactful plays across the board tonight. T. Jeff, as he's known, made the catch, but that doesn't happen without Hart.
Think about Cam Hart. He gets the interception on the dig that's tipped to A.J. Brown. The play we talked about right here in the corner of the end zone is as big a play as we've seen the entire season by a corner, which allowed them to kick a field goal and send it into overtime. And then the tip to Tony Jefferson that seals the deal. This team makes plays on the football. When I was asked to do a tape pregame, I said, if you just miss against the Los Angeles Chargers, they will make you pay. And they did to Jalen Hurts 4 times tonight.
That's such a great point. If you're not precise, they'll penalize you, and they did. I don't know if they're great. I don't know that this year there is a great team. Their schedule is rugged down the stretch, but they're right there squarely in the mix at 9-4. As for Philly, Ryan, I feel like we're seeing it again. We were in 23. I know Jason didn't want us to bring it up. He's like, why you got to bring this up? We were in Seattle in December, and you could feel the Eagles they weren't spiraling, but they just couldn't get their feet beneath them, and it feels like it's happening again.
You remember we were in Kansas City earlier that year.
In the rain.
And Valdez-Scantling drops the deep post from Patrick Mahomes, and they win that game, and they go on to be 10-1 at one point in that season. But the entire season, something just didn't feel right. And it's been very similar this year. Something just didn't feel right early on in the year. And I'll be honest, I gave them the benefit of the doubt because what I've seen those men do on the football fields, the way I've seen them course correct, but this is continuing to be a pattern. And tonight, it was as bad as it ever was because a quarterback that just doesn't turn the football over has turned the ball over in droves in the last 2 football games, both losses for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Is there enough time for them to figure it out and get it right?
Because of their history, I say that there is, and because there is no dominant, great team, because we could see a team like the Los Angeles Rams that we truly believe in lose to the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers go to Green Bay and beat a really good Green Bay Packer team. But when I look at this offense, this isn't a championship level offense, but it's a defense that can keep you in every single game. And there is talent on that side, but there has to be a switch in philosophy to make Saquon Barkley the focal point of this offense again.
The concern has to be that he had that night tonight. He had the night that we've been looking for. Had the explosive, went for triple figures, over 100, and still in the end, it was not enough. 5 turnovers, and they lose yet again. That's now 3 in a row. RC, I appreciate you. We're bundling up next week, right?
Man, they say 10 degrees, though, Scott.
Our guy Horn's going to be inside.
Yeah, obviously, this game is the ultimate team game, so it's never just on one person. Now, ultimately, he always has the ball in his hands, and I know he'll wear a lot of that and own that, and I got to do a better job of helping him in those scenarios. Again, it's never just on execution, right? It's always, we look at ourselves as coaches first. Do we help him be in position to succeed and then execute, right? So obviously, never want to turn the ball over. We've been pretty good at that, and tonight was a little uncharacteristic of ourselves.
You see the career high in turnovers on the night for Hurts, and it's a little bit skewed because of that one wild play, but I mean, he threw a pick, but then after that, interceptor was stripped of the ball, he recovered, then he was stripped of the ball, and you end up with a night where it's a career high in interceptions, and far more significantly, it's a 3rd consecutive loss for now 8-5 Philly.
When did you know for sure you were playing tonight?
Probably Sunday of last week. I figured.
So when you told us you were going to play even before surgery, you were like...
Yeah, I tried to be as upfront about it as possible. They were really hopeful that it was a procedure that you're going to get done and you're going to be good to go by Monday. And so, the first couple days were kind of tough, figuring out, getting the swelling down and being able to grip and do things like that. But no, it was I thought the trainers, doctors, they all worked really well together.
Was it a lot of pain to play tonight?
Yeah, it was a broken hand, so.
It's a tough dude, tough schedule down the stretch, and you see all-time best winning percentages on Monday night. The legend, Madden, Mike Tomlin, incredible. We'll be in Pittsburgh. Say again? Huh. Yeah, hell yeah. We'll be in Pittsburgh next week. I will wear an undershirt for Stanford Steve just so he doesn't yell at me. And Jim Harbaugh, who's got it better than us? Nobody. 8-2 on Monday Night Football. That's the positive side of tonight. Philadelphia living on the wrong side of it. A career high in turnovers. Jalen Hurts. His thoughts afterwards.
I didn't play well enough. Too many turnovers. Lots of opportunities, especially when we get on the other side of the 50, and I wasn't able to get us in the box. I knew it was going to be a tight window throw. I'd have to watch the film to see it from the eyes, film's point of view. Ultimately, it's a play that I didn't make. He got a hand on the ball, and I didn't make the play.